welcome to a few Goldilock Bears podcast. This is a podcast where we talk about things we love, things that we hate, and things in the middle. This could be things that we're indifferent about, that we're ambivalent about, that we're on the fence about. These are the gray areas of life. These are the things that aren't in the black and white, that they don't maintain to your precious polar opposites.
My name is Vincent Cloud.
My name is John Nemeth.
My name is Goldilock.
And this is the no, hold on. Oh my God, sorry. I'm so eager to jump the gun. I want to talk about our loves, hates, and indifferences, but no, let's talk about old topics. The segment is called the Dacia Fuse, and I shall go. So I'm gonna do it again. I'm forget double dipping, quadruple dipping, whatever. The Oscars, I love the Oscars. If it had it my way, I'd either have my own podcast about it or I would, put in a permanent segment on the show about the Oscars. But let's talk about Bob Hoskins. Do you guys know who that guy is?
Love him.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Who is Bob Hoskins?
He was Who Framed Roger Rabbit? He was Eddie, the lead. He played Mario in the Mario Brothers movie.
Oh, yes. Okay, I know. Yeah. I haven't thought about that guy forever.
He was Smee in Hook. It was
I
awesome.
freaking
And,
love Smee. He's one of my
Right?
In
favorite
Brazil.
characters from that movie.
And what?
Brazil.
I only saw that once. I gotta rewatch that. Holy shit. That's cool. Okay, so anyways, Bob Hoskins was nominated for Best Lead in the movie Mona Lisa. And so he plays an ex-con, but small time stuff. Like I think he went away for 7 years, but he never ratted on his boss or anything like that. So he just did his 7 years. And the opening is him with this rabbit showing up, and he's walking back, into his old neighborhood and stuff, and people are giving him shit, and you see this guy who's like clearly done his time. I don't even think he did it or something like that, but like you see his patience being tested now that he's on the outside. uh, but he's got this daughter that wants to reconnect, and so does he. But he's given a job. He's given a job by his old boss to drive around a high class sex worker. And right away they don't see eye to eye. She just like looks down on him and he's like, "Oh, you're putting on airs. What do you think, you're better than me and stuff?" But she kind of is like Bob Hoskins, like he's very charismatic, but he's definitely like, I don't know, he can't get rid of that prison thing where he's kind of like hunched over and kind of looking around and stuff like that. He's still kind of living that, but he doesn't want to be. And anyways, this relationship between him and this sex worker at first is very kind of like, fuck you. And then they just have these very human interactions where they're like, okay, well, we have some time to kill. I gotta buy you a suit. You look like shit, Bob. He's like, what? But they just have these interactions, and eventually they start to really form a bond. But oh man, the movie starts to turn. I don't want to ruin anything, but it just starts turn into a different genre almost. But you get to see him as Bob Hoskins doing everything I just mentioned about his character, but then you get to see his jealousy when he feel like he doesn't like the fact that he's driving her to her Johns all the time. It just gets to him, and she's got some secrets that are revealed, but like it's an amazing performance by Hoskins. You get to see him do shit that I was like, oh, I never would have pictured you being in this scenario and stuff. But interesting though, this is what stood out. I'm like, this guy's so great. Why did he not win? He lost to okay, before I say that though, every award leading up to the Oscars, he won. He won BAFTA, Golden Globe, SAG, right? He was winning every single one, and then they get to the Oscars and they give it to Paul Newman for The Color of Money. I haven't seen that movie, but I've heard this is the big reason why they probably gave it to Paul because this was Paul Newman. He's been nominated 4 times in the past throughout the decades and still haven't won. So they were like, let's give it to him. And that sucks. I haven't seen it, like I said, but Bob is so amazing in this movie. He breaks your heart at times, and oh, it's so good. Yeah, I recommend it.
Yeah, that's always a weird thing with the Oscars where there's always more to it than just like this was the best performance this year. It was like, okay, well, they should have won last year, so we'll give it to them this year, or like they're due for a win, or oh, this was the best performance, but they're young, so you'll know they'll have more chances in the future. Or like it just there's just all this stuff that goes into it rather than just being like what was actually the best performance.
Yeah. Someone said that like, it would be so unrealistic and like a lot of money being spent, but you have 5 actors play the same role. You know? That'd be great. You know what? Actually, there is a movie where a bunch of actors play the same role. Do you know what it is?
Is it about Bob Dylan?
Oh shit. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
deja vu.
another movie though, another movie. This is what I was thinking of. It's like the Imaginarium of something,
Oh, Dr.
Potassium,
Parnassus,
Potassium. Yeah, something like that.
the
Where
Gilliam movie.
yeah, it's Heath Ledger, Johnny Depp, Colin Firth or Farrell, and Jude Law. They all play the same character. It's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it
And Bob
just seems weird.
Hoskins, I just watched him in The Long Good Friday. You ever see that one?
I want to. That's on my list. But this was before that, so I watched this first. Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. He's like a bad guy, right?
Yeah,
Awesome.
like a mob boss kind of figure.
British. His fucking
Yeah.
he has one of the greatest voices. Like it's kind of thick in this one too. It's like a point in it or something like that. Just like what? What'd you
Yeah,
say?
exactly. And
Uh,
like I've I've spoken with enough like British people over the years that I can mostly understand the accent, but they'll still use like just like phrases that I have no idea what they mean, even though like I understand the words.
I watched a movie called All the Right Noises with subtitles. Even though they're speaking English, it's so thick, you know?
Yeah.
Like Olivia Hussey is in that movie, and we watched her in Black Christmas, and she doesn't even bother to cover her English accent, but she definitely makes it more American friendly in that movie, not in fucking All the Right Noises. She's saying shit, and you're like, what the fuck? Oh my God. Crazy. All right, should we get the show started?
Yes.
All right, go ahead, Dave.
This is a love of mine, and I love a good game show host. Like there's all sorts of different game shows out there. You got Price is Right, there's Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Um, like and even like if you have like Game Show Network, you can see all the game shows from like the 60s and 70s and 80s, and there's Card Sharks and the Match Game and $10,000 pyramid, I think it was, and like Hollywood Squares, the tic-tac-toe game. There's so many different game shows out there, and I just like I really appreciate like a good game show host because like there's certain ones that are like Pat Sajak, for instance, like I think he's really good. But the problem is like Wheel of Fortune to me is just not a very good game, I don't think. Because I like the idea of like guessing the letters and trying to figure out the phrase, but my problem with it is the literal Wheel of Fortune, the wheel where you spin it, and you're like, oh, even though you got 4 letters in a row correctly, you got bankrupt or you got lose a turn. And like, oh, you had bad luck, and that's the wheel of fortune, you know? You got bad fortune. And so like that kind of ruins the game. So like Pat Sajak isn't good enough to overcome that, like the bad game.
What about
And
Vanna White working, working her thing?
having some eye candy is always helpful. Oh, and that brings me to the show that I really love, and my favorite game show host is Howie Mandel.
Mm.
On Deal or No Deal, the premise of Deal or No Deal, I think, is objectively bad, and it doesn't make sense that it could be a good show, but it's an amazing show, and it's all because Howie Mandel is so damn good at his job. Like, he makes Deal or No Deal so good. And it's because all you're doing is you have 25 briefcases that, yeah, they're held up by like gorgeous, beautiful women, but all the briefcases just have a dollar amount inside, and you pick out one briefcase, and then the quote unquote banker, this man in the shadows, kind of like gives you an offer, like, oh, you might have $1 million in that case, but I'll offer you $50,000 if you can take this deal, or we can keep opening cases to reveal how much, and it might increase your odds or decrease your odds. And I don't know, just the whole premise of the show just seems so stupid to me. But like Howie Mandel is so damn good. Like I can watch that show forever just because he's so witty, he's so funny. He can he can literally just like say the funniest, wittiest thing ever, and just it comes out of nowhere, and I just can't even believe that he would think to say that in that moment. And it's always like, oh, that's the perfect thing to say. And I was watching a game show on Netflix, and it's called Bullshit the Game. And there's only one season, and Howie Mandel was the host of it. And what it is you have one person, they ask like a trivia question of answers that no one would possibly know, and you have to answer the question in front of three other people, and you have to give your reasoning behind it, and then the three people are like, that's bullshit, I don't think they're right, or I think they're right. And like the whole premise of the show is also, I think, kind of stupid, and you just kind of have to like lie to like seem like you know the answer. But the fact that Howie Mandel is the host of it, it makes the show so good. And I freaking love him as the host. He's so damn good. Um, what are your guys' favorite game show hosts?
Well, in terms of Howie, a lot of these hosts, they're just hosts. But he was like, he was a stand-up comedian for years. Then he made
Mm-hmm.
movies. Then he did the ultimate voice work of Mowgli from Gremlins and Bobby from Bobby's World. Hello. So he has all that goodwill, where I'm like, dude, you've always been amazing in my life. Like you're always around, and yeah, he was cool in that show. He made that show tolerable for sure. Yeah. Um, so I wanted to say though, Brooke Burns from The Chase. It's like a trivia game. I mentioned it before, where like it's this big dude, the Beast. He's like super smart, and you have all these other smart people battle against him and stuff. But Brooke is like she's blonde, yet she's not dumb. What kind of world are we
What?
living in? But like, she's gorgeous. She's a blonde chick, but damn it, she's got that wit. She's funny. Yeah, I immediately thought like this person is really good at her job. Um, let's get into Bob Barker, and Bob Barker's beauties. I think he's iconic. Is like I just liked how he presented himself, how he said stuff. The whole "have your pets spayed or neutered." That was a nice little message. But when Drew Carey took over, he didn't call him like Drew's debutantes. Like he should have did something like that, but he didn't. I'm sure he was just like Drew's coworkers who he appreciates, something like that.
Carrie's cuties.
Yeah,
Oh, that could have
it
been
was more
that.
politically correct. They weren't like wearing bikinis anymore. They were in like pantsuits, and they looked like businesswomen.
No. Shoulder pads? Do they wear those? That would have been great. Bring those back. Okay, so oh, John Michael Higgins. John, we were talking about this on Recollection. He hosts America Says.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yep.
But he's also like I remember him from shit. Arrested Development. He's this no nonsense lawyer. He's like, I have like zero,
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
right? Yeah. But he was also in this other fucking, but he's so good. He's very funny. I'm glad he has a show. And that show itself is very good, but he's just very witty. He really plays to the audience and stuff like that. He's very good at that job. And what about all those Family Feud hosts?
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up. Like, so there was Richard Dawson, the British guy from Hogan's Heroes, and he was the one who would like kiss all the women. So like like you just go down the road and there's like full on like kiss them on the mouth, like these random women who are on this game show, which is so bizarre to like see these days.
I remember asking my mom about that as a child. Like, what? I'm like, you're allowed to do that? She's like, well, it was a different time back then. You could never do that anymore. It was so strange.
There was Ray
Yeah.
Combs.
Who's that?
He died by suicide, I
Oh,
think.
I
Jesus.
really liked Ray Combs. He was a lot more wholesome and nice, and he wasn't trying to mac on every chick that was on the show.
Is he from anything else? I don't
I
know
don't
him.
know him from
Oh,
anything else
okay.
besides
I
that.
think if you saw his face, you'd recognize him. He was a
Okay.
really good host, but he was not like Richard Dawkins.
I'm thinking Home
Like,
Improvement guy, I guess. Right? Didn't he
Oh
do it?
yeah, the guy who played
Richard
Al.
Karn, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what though? Okay, so what's his name? Louis Anderson. Let's play the feud. I like Louis. Uh
Yeah.
yeah,
I
so
liked
that was
him
cool.
too. His demeanor, I think it worked really well.
For sure. And then Elaine's boss, he was the host for a while. Remember that?
I forgot about that.
He's like
Jay
survey
Peterman.
says. Yeah. Yeah,
I don't know what his
exactly.
real name is. Is it just Jay Peterman?
I don't know, soap opera guy who got lucky. Holy shit.
But like
Uh
now, I think the current Family Feud host is one of the best hosts out there, and it's
Steve
Steve
Harvey.
Harvey.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Like
phenomenal.
just the way like the whole conceit, like you say, it's not like the conceit of the show is stupid. Like the question will be like pure, like clearly like there's going to be sexual answers to it.
oh
And then
yeah.
like the
Jeez.
faces he'll make, like he is like shocked that you would like be so like bold as to say something like that. And then there's like, yeah, 37. Like,
Well, that's the other thing that's so bizarre. It's literally called family in it. And it's very sexual in nature. A lot of those things, you know? And it's like, that's not the case in Wheel of Fortune or Jeopardy or name any other fucking thing. It's when mom and dad and the kids are there. That's what he's, it's so bizarre to me.
No, it's on while school's going on. So the kids
No,
are at school.
No, I'm
Mom is
talking
just
about
watching at home.
no, I'm talking about the mom that is playing and the dad that's
Oh,
playing and the
okay.
kids and he's making the and all everything's so sexual in that show. That's the odd part, especially when you had what's his name open mouth kissing everybody, you know? That's crazy to me.
Oh yeah. It's so awkward when there's like grandmas there and she's 80 and you're like, "Oh, I don't want to say this in front of my grandma, but
Um oh, I think that's all. Oh wait, no. I actually liked Anne Robinson. You guys remember where she's from? The
No.
weakest link.
Oh,
oh yeah, she
could
was
never have
good."
told you her name in a million years.
Right. But was she like pre Simon Cowell and like the Hell's Kitchen guy where you have a British person just fucking ripping us to shreds I think that she was the trailblazer.
For
Yeah.
a deja vu, where I said I hated like overused bits or whatever. You are the weakest link. Goodbye. That was so overused for a while.
I
Awesome.
agree. It did get old. And it was
Uh,
like she had to like try and find a way to say it, but like make it different. So she would like emphasize different parts of the sentence, or
you
say it fast, or say
are
it slow.
the weakest link.
Yeah.
There was this one time that she kind of cracked and she smiled a little bit because this one guy, like, that was his mission. Like, I don't even think he wanted to win. He was like, I'm gonna fucking get this bitch to smile. That was great. Yeah, what do you guys have to say about hosts or Dave? Yeah. Or wait,
Well,
John. My bad.
yeah, Dave, what do you have to say? Um, so there was like Jeopardy, like Alex Trebek, or Trebek. You always like
Feedback.
had the feeling like he always like made it seem like he probably knew the answer without looking at it.
Oh.
And like probably not true, but he just had that air to him. And then now like Ken Jennings is a host and like, oh yeah, he actually probably does know a lot of the answers just because he was like the all-time champion or whatever. And they had that weird um see when they were switching away from Trebek. Um like it was they didn't know who the next host was going to be, and they had like a bunch of people trying it out, and like didn't like Aaron Rodgers do it, and like for like a week, like weird shit
Yeah.
like that, like. And then like there was this producer who was like, oh, you know what, I'm going to be the host. And like that was what it was going to be, and then it turned out he was a creep and he got canceled. And like um so then they had Ken Jennings and Mayim Bialik like kind of alternating, or like she would do like the celebrity ones or the college like like the special ones, and then he would do the normal ones. And now he just like Ken does them all for whatever reason. Like people did not like her, I guess. I don't know.
Blossom?
Really?
They didn't
She
like
was
Yeah.
Blossom?
awesome.
Yeah, I
I
thought
like
she was good
remember
too.
I remember watching those episodes and being like, "Oh, she is made for this." Like I yeah, because I just remember watching her on Big Bang Theory, and she was one of the best characters on Big Bang Theory.
You take that back. Actually, I don't watch the show. I just like Melissa. I think she's really cute. Melissa Rauch or whatever her name is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's up. Yeah, very good. I Another host that I really like is Regis Philbin on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. He was so dang good at that. Just yeah, it's this ability to like make these quips, and like Regis has like that weird like personality where it's kind of like a Jeff Goldblum or Christopher Walken, where you're like they're kind of a caricature of themselves and they're like self-aware, but it's still just funny to watch them.
Oh man, the guy who kissed everyone on Family Feud. Have you guys seen The Running Man?
Oh yeah.
Where he
No.
plays
Yeah.
a evil fucking host. And he looks the same. He's got the same haircut, same clothes. He's got all the rings on and stuff. But he's like cocksucking, like I don't give a fuck about the ratings or something. I don't know, something weird. But he was very good in that role.
Yeah.
And it's so odd to see him in a non-hosting role in I think it was the thousand or shit. What's the one where there's like I don't know, eight celebrities and they're asking questions? Is it the pyramid? I don't know. Fuck.
I think
But
so.
Oh, Match Game?
match yeah, okay, that might be match game. But that Dawson dude is just part of the panel and it's
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah,
odd.
I know. Yep. Yeah, there was Gene Rayburn, I believe, was the host of that back in the day. He had like
Yeah.
the microphone with like those tall or like the really skinny long stick on it.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love Gene Rayburn. I was gonna mention him as well. I'm glad you mentioned him. He was like his personality, and like he has all the celebrities on there. So it's like his job to kind of corral everyone and kind of steer the ship. And he has such a nice, pleasant attitude about him.
Oh yeah.
What about Chuck Woolery? and like the newlywed game and the dating game. I
Oh
think
man, I don't think I've seen that. At least I don't remember. Fuck. Wasn't he on Mallrats or no? Am I thinking of something else?
no, think he. I don't think he was in that.
Was that a real host? I
I
don't know.
don't.
He seemed like
Uh,
he was.
he probably was, but I don't think he was actually from that.
Oh, shout out to Ben Bailey from Money Cab.
Oh yeah,
I think he
Cash
does a
Cab.
good job. Yeah, or Cash Cab. Yeah, Cash Cab.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, shout out to Ben Stein from Win Ben Stein's Money.
Jimmy Kimmel, the technically the host of that, right?
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
Oh wow, I don't remember.
Yeah, because Ben Stein was like the contestant, or he would play against the contestant, but Jimmy Kimmel was like like the host back before he was Jimmy Kimmel, before he was known, before the Man
Uh,
Show, even, right?
yes, that's right. Rob Lowe, I think
Yeah.
I mentioned him, but he hosts The Floor, and I gotta watch season two. I can't wait to watch that. Hopefully, they fixed some of that stuff. I don't know if I mentioned that, but like the design of it was flawed near the end. Yeah.
I
No,
haven't
like
seen
how
that.
how
Is that worth
so?
seeing?
Because basically it was like as the numbers dwindled and you could only verse people that was in your perimeter, some people you couldn't reach, so you would just people would be attacking each other. Meanwhile, a bunch of groups on the far corner are like they don't even get to play. And so they're going to be at the like towards the end and someone won where they only had to play two times, whereas like some people had to win like seven times to stay. And yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully it's fixed for season two. Anything else? Nay, right?
Let's hit the
S
gong, like on the Gong Show.
Oh, I was gonna say survey says.
And we'll be back with our next topic after these messages.
In two and two.
That's a Chuck Woolery thing.
Okay, go ahead, John.
I hate maintenance of all kinds, but especially bicycle maintenance, to the point where like I bought the most simple bike as you possibly can. It's like a single speed, so there's no like derailleurs or like gear shifters or anything like that. Just very like standard, like you squeeze the handle for the brakes and the pincers come in and stop the whatever. And like I'm just like I just want a thing that just works, and I don't want to be having to tune things or adjust things or whatever. And now like I've been having like this chronic issue with my tire going flat. So like there's like so little that can go wrong with this thing, and yet it's going wrong. And like all I want to do is like ride my bike to the office and back. And um like last year I had like six flat tires, and I'm like, I'm switching to myself, and I'm like trying to figure out like, okay, is there something wrong with the rim? And I can't figure anything out. And like, I change the inner tubes every time, and like, okay, I'm just gonna get a new like wheel, or like the outer tube, whatever you call it. And still kept happening. And then there was an issue with the first outer tube that I bought where it wasn't seated properly, and then that was also causing flats. And um finally I just like took it into REI, and I'm like, can you guys just like figure this out? And like then it was like good for the rest of the season. And then like now this year I've been traveling a lot, so I haven't gotten to ride my bike much. But then like I got another flat tire early on, and um like just haven't had a chance to fix it. And it's just like um I just like purposely was just trying to avoid this, but there's just always something that can go wrong, and it seems to happen.
Wow. I know how to fix that with the tire thing, actually. I found out when I was a kid. You put cards in the spokes, John. That's all we gotta do.
Cards and the spokes. I'll give that a shot.
Oh yeah. Either that or you run over a can
Oh
and
yeah.
yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I own a bike, but the fucking thing went flat like on the sixth day of riding it around, and it just hasn't been fixed. Like I brought it to a bike repair shop and I'm like, hey guy, this is punctured. Like there's something wrong with the tube, I believe. And he's like, okay, we'll get it taken care of. And I was charged. Uh, it was pretty cheap. It was like 12, 15 bucks, something like that. But it was flat, like immediately. And I didn't even write it. It was just in my apartment. So I don't know if, and really, I was as respectful as possible. I didn't say, hey guy, I didn't do that. But now I wish I did because I feel like he just ripped me off, or bike maintenance really is that awful. I'm not sure.
Well, that's the thing too. Like, um, so you know how like there's like the inner tubes that you fill them up and it looks like the same um the valve like a car tire has. And I always had those and like they were fine. Like you'd pump it up at the beginning of spring and you'd be good to go. And now I have the kind where it has like this thing that you unscrew and it's like thinner than that and you need like a different kind of pump that attaches to it or whatever. And like it's just like losing air all the time. So like even like when I don't have a flat, it's just like, oh, every like other week I need to just refill both of my bike tires because like, oh, that's just how it is. They just lose air like naturally. So like you have to own a pump and you have to like continuously do that. And that's just annoying too.
Oh, so maybe that's what I need to do because it like I don't use the bike very often, but when I tried it again, it was flat and it pissed me off. So maybe it just needs to be attended to.
It's possible. Like, maybe you'll fill it up and it'll be good to go.
Okay.
And like even this last flat I had, I'm like, I could fill it up in the morning and ride to work and back, and it'd be okay. And then like in the morning, it'd be like completely flat again, and I would just fill it up again. I'm like, yeah, this is gonna like work for a while, but then I'm gonna get stuck somewhere and it's gonna suck. So I figured I better actually get it fixed.
It almost sounds like planned obsolescence, where they're just like making it
Uh,
cheaper. The bike repair shops are colluding with the manufacturers. They're like, yeah, we're gonna get more business this way.
big bicycle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It it kind of reminds me of I had a pellet smoker, like one that you get at like Lowe's, and you have to buy these wood pellets, but you have to like it's electric. You have to plug it in. You have to have the auger that like senses, or the auger will push the pellets into the smoke chamber where it combusts with an igniter. And then there's also electronic thermostats that like gauge the temperature, and it will adjust the speed of the auger on how fast it's going to feed in pellets. And it's like it's great if it's working, but then quickly after a year, just like one summer, and like you don't even use it that often, but like once a month, and it stops working. And so then I had to replace a part, and then I fix that, and then it breaks again, and I have to replace another part. And then I was just like, you know what? I'm done with this. There's too much maintenance. Something's always breaking. And if you're like trying to cook dinner, you don't want something breaking, just like if you're traveling somewhere, you don't want it to break down because like this you have plans, and if something goes wrong, your plans are kind of thrown out the window. So I just took the smoker, I pushed it out to the curb, and I'm like, I'm gonna post this on Facebook and somebody can have it for free. And I had it there for 5 minutes, and the mailman stopped, and he was like, "Well, you getting rid of that? I'll take it." I'm like, "Yeah, sure." I'm like, "I'll just wheel it up by the garage." He's like, "Okay, I'll be back in a couple days with my son's truck, and I'll take it, and we'll fix it." And I told him everything that was wrong with it, and he still wanted it. He's like, "Yeah, we'll work on it. We'll see if we can make." I'm like, "Okay, if you like to tinker around to do maintenance, that's fine. You can have it." So I went and bought something that's no electronic parts. It's just charcoal. I'm like, charcoal I can manage. It's never gonna break as long as the charcoal is dry and I have a match, I can do it. And it's just easier and it's just more simple and it's just less things to break down.
Please tell me that when you went to go buy your charcoal thing, you rode a bike, so it's relevant to what we're talking about.
But it's about the idea of maintenance and like buying something that will reduce the amount of maintenance, you know?
But still, those bikes, man.
It's a bicycle powered pellet dispenser. You have to pedal to make them go through.
You know what? I haven't asked this yet. How long of a bike ride is it to work? What do you?
It's about a little under 5 miles from my house to the office.
Okay. Yeah, I think I
Do you
used to bike to
bring
work like
like a
2 miles.
pump? Do you bring a pump with you just in case?
No, but I have one at home and then there's like one at the office that like is a shared one. So I have like had a flat on the way and luckily the route I take is also like a bus line. So I can just like hop on the bus if something happens with my bike. But I have had like poorly time where I'm just like, oh, I'll just walk with my bike that's broken, like kind of limp it along until the bus comes, and then I'm like pretty much home by the time like a bus happens to come by.
I bought a air pump and I have it like in my truck because I have a camper and the last thing you want is like a flat tire on your camper or your truck and your whole trip is going to be ruined because if you have a flat tire. So I bought this for like $50, this little miniature air compressor. And I haven't needed to use it yet, which is good, which means I haven't had a flat. But then I was at a campground and they had a pool there and there was like an inflatable football to throw around in the pool and I pick it up and it's like squish squish and there's no air in it and
Oh
I'm like
shit, Tom
aha.
Brady's had a hand in this thing.
Yeah, it was deflated. And I was like, I have an air pump. I'm like, hang on, I have the solution. I'll finally put my air pump in my backseat of my truck to work. And I inflated that ball.
Oh my God. Okay, so while we're on bikes, my brother growing up was the weirdest kid. He he didn't ride his bike. He ran alongside it. He loved to run it through mud puddles and stuff. It's like to him that was the fun part of bike ownership.
Hilarious. Kids are
He-
weird.
yeah, he's still weird. Oh my God.
Why fall off your bike when you could fall onto your bike?
Yes, that's right. Oh man. Um, Segway challenge? Let's take that tube out of the bike and onto the river.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, that's a real segue because you actually tied it to the next topic.
Yeah, really, what are we doing to become segues? They're these weak references and jokes.
Yeah, we're missing half the equation, I guess.
Okay, so I love tubing down the river. Uh, it's a it's a Midwestern thing. I don't know. Maybe everyone does it everywhere, but we certainly do it here. Here in Eau Claire, in particular, or I guess it's technically Chippewa Valley or Chippewa Falls. We have Fat Far. It's done every year on Father's Day for some reason, and it's cool. You get to rent tubes, and you jump in them, and you got all your beer and you get to see like inventive rafts and stuff where they like built bars on it and stuff. They have music playing, swings and slides and stuff. But it's a lot of fun, even if you're just with some friends. You all tend to like, tie your tubes together, like no more kids. um, and yeah, it's just I don't know, it's really nice. It's very little effort. Um I got great memories of this stuff. Yeah, what do you guys got to say about tubing down the river?
Fun time. You got, I remember doing that as a kid and um, with my family and cousins and aunts and uncles and stuff, and it being a near disaster when my there was a miscommunication and someone jumped in like at the deepest part of the river, and then other people like had to jump in to like save them and stuff. So it
Whoa.
was scary, but other than that, everyone had a good time. As a college kid and older, you're tubing with the cooler full of beer, and um you just think how much urine is in this river because everybody's drinking beer the whole day, and like nobody's like getting off on the shore to pee.
That's true.
I always thought I was like, where do you think the fish are going pee? We're going in the same place you're going.
That is true.
Wow. Yeah, that's right. Fish do shit. I guess I never considered pee either. At least shit you see, but wow, that's so crazy.
There's a lot of tubing in Oklahoma too, and the rivers here are just terrible. But there's by like on the eastern part of Oklahoma, there's a lot of like there's a big thing like that, and tons of college. It's like a college town that does it, and they have like resorts and like they're like campgrounds that are along the river, but then those campgrounds kind of turn into like little stopping points where there's boat landings, and that's where people will do the drop off points for like when you get in the river and how far you're gonna go. I always liked tubing, and I was legit thinking about it because I went camping this past weekend, and we went out on the lake, and we would just like drop anchor, and then we'd have our inflatable like pool floats, and we would just all hold onto a rope, and we're just like waiting out in the water, just swimming because it's like 100 degrees, and it was awesome. And I'm like, I don't, I like being on the lake. Like fishing is fine, but like I don't need to fish. Like it's the relaxation and being out on the water in nature is the part I like. So I'm like, I can just chill and relax, and all I want to do is just play some good music and just chill, and like I don't have to be drinking. I'll just relax and unwind, and it's awesome.
Yeah, for those who don't know what we're talking about, maybe you've gone to a water park and it's the lazy river. Do they all have a lazy river? I think so, right?
All the good ones do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was for free though. We went out there. It was good stuff.
You ever like have it where you're like in the water like long enough on the tube that like that night you like lay in your bed and you just like like feel like you're swaying kind of because like you're finally not swaying, so it's like you know you got your sea legs still or whatever.
It's
It's like
great.
being out on that shrimping boat for weeks, and then you get back to shore.
Oh man.
I
Oh, real quick. I was tubing with Jordan and we were like, well, we don't have an extra tube to like carry a cooler. So we were like, let's just buy four locos. So we had two like so we bought two four locos each, right? And we're floating there, and I'm drinking mine, and I'm getting messed up because, like, I don't know if you guys remember that shit, but that was hardcore shit. Like, you can't even buy this stuff anymore, right? So I'm drinking mine, and then he's sipping his or something like that. And then I'm drinking my second one, and I'm like, "Hey, you got to drink," and I'm getting excessively drunk, and I'm like, "You aren't drinking, dude." I was getting mad, like that's how I could tell I'm drunk. I'm like, "You fucker, you're not drinking." Here, I'm doing all the drinking. He's like, I don't know. I'm thinking about this or that. These things don't taste very good, and I took his third and I drank that.
Oh my God.
And then I blacked out. I came to standing on a pile of cinder blocks. I looked down. Jordan's like, get down. And this is Jordan. If you know him, like he's the irresponsible one. He's the wild man, but he was like looking after me, thankfully. Yeah, that was crazy. Uh, one more blackout story. Okay, here we go. We were doing Fat Far, and someone convinced me to chug some vodka or something, right? That was a major no-no. I blacked out. I came to playing volleyball. That was fucking crazy. And I'm like, I'm playing and I'm looking at my my teammates. I'm like, okay, I know you. I don't know you. And you're talking to me like we do. And like it was so bizarre. Yeah. It's not good, kids. Don't do that to
Or as you
yourselves.
call it, time travel.
Yeah. You're drinking, you
Oh.
black out, you're at a bar. You drink, you black out, you're at another bar. You drink, you pass back, black out, you wake up at a McDonald's, working there 3 years. Oh, amazing. Is that the show? Anything else? That's the show. You know what, listeners, from EC Hometown Radio specifically, this is our fourth to last episode. So, follow us onto the website. We're
On
also
this
still,
platform, that is.
yes, yeah. Sorry, EC Hometown. It's been real, but it's been a real year. I'll tell you that. Holy shit. But yeah, that's it. I was Vincent Cloud.
I was John Nemeth.
And I was David Lauer.
Tell them about the email, John.
Oh, well, like we're sick of coming up with our own topics, so get these lazy listeners and viewers to help us out a bit. So if you have something that you love, hate, or are indifferent to, send an email to topics@afewgoldilockbears.com. We'll put a link in the show notes here and tell us what you love, hate, or are indifferent to and why. And maybe we'll talk about it on the show.